so we're going to go ahead and Ruby has been learning all of the obstacles, and she's completed all 3 of her obstacle course badges and can take all of the obstacles safely and at the appropriate height. Okay? So now what we're going to focus on is control. So a couple different things that we're going to learn is a weight, so like a start line weight. We're going to practice a here or come. We're going to practice go out or go. And then we're also going to do a sit or a down on the table. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've already been practicing a watch me. Okay. And since she's already also passed her dog scout, so we know the meaning of stay. Okay. Go ahead and you can take your leash off, and we're going to go ahead and try a wait. Okay. Now this is off leash. Now, so what you're going to do is just give her a wait, and you can even come to the front of this jump. Wait. And then you'll want to say a release word. You can choose either like okay or break or some kind of release word, and then go ahead and send her over that jump. Okay. There. All right. Woo! Good girl. All right. Go ahead and come on back. So as you practice this, you want to always make sure that you're staying successful. You don't ever want to move past what she's ready for. Okay? However, I know that you've been practicing this. So, what we're going to do is go ahead and lead out to the other side of that jump then. What I make sure to do with Zima is I make eye contact across the jump so that she knows to take it. Okay? Wait. Okay. Good girl! Alright, good puppy. Alright, and go ahead and bring her back. Alright, so as we move forward, and this I wouldn't necessarily say that she's completely ready for, but I know that Sheila is working on this. You're going to do some proofing. So some things that you can do is you can come out here, you can be all ready to go, and you can take off without saying the release word. Okay? And she should stay waiting. Okay? So what you want to make sure is that it's only the release word that she responds to. Another important thing when saying the release word is that you're not moving. Because what she'll do is that if you say, okay, and you're moving, she's actually going to probably learn that your body is what she's responding to, not the word. Does that make sense? Other things, once you get going, you can figure out by saying type words or different words so that she she has to listen for that okay, and she learns that specific word. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and teach go out cue. I do have them here. They're just out of the frame for the size of the building. So what we're going to do is, it doesn't matter if you want to practice your weight or not. It won't matter. But what you're going to do is you're going to bring her here. And when you're coming here at first, go ahead and you can come all the way out and you're going to say out. Okay, so you want her to go out to that jump. And then come in and take this third jump. And then what we're going to do is we're going to gradually move you farther and farther away so that she moves out. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, go ahead and try it. We did lower the height jump, or the jump height so that it's for training, easier on their joints, and also so that she can get that corner. That's a good dog. Okay. Wait. Okay. Out.
Good girl.
All right. So then, as we practice this, you'll move farther and farther away from it. The setup that we have right now, you would want to be able to send her out from about here in the setup that we have. All right. So something else that we're going to do with this setup is when you send her out, okay, you're going to call her here to take this jump. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you want to start. Okay. Okay, but the reason would be is that if there's a jump out here, you want to be able to call her off of it. Okay, so we're going to pretend that the wall is another obstacle. Okay, so that's what your here would be for. And what you want to do at first is have her, you can send her out, and then say here, and go ahead and give her a treat. So here is come closer to me, go out is go farther away from me. Okay.
What? Here, Ruby.
There you go.
Good girl.
All right, go ahead and do that one more time.
Remember the treat this time. That's it. Wait. Ready? Okay. Go out. Here, Ruby. Good girl. And there.
Sound good? Yep. Do you have any questions about the start line, stay, wait, or here, or go out? Okay, let's head over to the table. We can do a sit in there now.
Good girl.
All right, so for this, we're going to use the table, and we're going to teach her sit or down on the table, and to stay there. Gotta stay there for 5 seconds while the judge counts. All right, so go ahead and bring her over here because she's already been up here, and then ask her sit, and reward.
Good girl.
You can treat the table as a contact, so rewarding it, they need to stay there until you say the release word. Okay. So yep, you should be able to back off. Similar thing to the wait at the beginning. You can do proofs kind of thing, so you can pretend to run, stuff like that. All right, go ahead and do it down.
Table. Down. Good girl.
There you go. If she gets to the point that she doesn't like the table, we want to prevent that. So lots of treats, have a party on the table. A lot of dogs don't really like it. Like Sheila, for example.
Okay.
And you always want to make sure to say that release word. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start Ruby on the leaves. So what we have is we have 6 poles, and we're using guides. We have used channel weaves before, but we do not have access to them for this training session. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that Ruby's never seen weaves before, and go ahead and lure her through and give her the idea to move through the guides and not knock the guides off. Okay, so go ahead and lure her through. Okay, and just like when we taught all the obstacles, we want to make sure we're working on both sides all the time. Go ahead and go one more time. First, on this side.
Good girl.
Okay, so we would do that until the dog has a general idea, like the beginnings, that they don't knock the guides off. They're not supposed to. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build her speed. So what we have is we have a target at the end here. And so Ruby's going to see this target, and she does know what a target is. And I'm going to put the treats there, and she's going to see the treats. Okay? And she only gets the treats, so I'm going to stay at this end. She only gets the treats if she goes through the weaves. In that case, what we're going to do is we're going to be looking for her to be looking forward and coming through the treats, because eventually that will build on the speed.
Ruby, come.
Okay? And we're going to go ahead and put it, there she goes, and she goes right through and gets the treats. Good girl, Ruby! All right, why don't you bring her over to that side?
Come on. Let's go. Come here. Ruby! Come on, hon. Ruby, come. Ruby!
Okay, and we put the treats on the target.
Ruby!
And she gets the targets. If she were to jump out at any kind or go around, I would cover them up. She would not get those treats. If she jumps out, she just gets there and there's nothing, and then you call her back. Okay, so it's just a you lose kind of thing. Okay. time, what we're gonna do is I'm still gonna have the target, but I want you to get her excited. So once the dog is moving through and they're looking forward, you're gonna get her super excited.
Ruby!
Good girl, Ruby!
Come on, Ruby! Right here.
Okay, so I want you to hype her up, and she's gonna go through fast. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so we're gonna push her through so that she goes fast.
Ruby, come! Right. Go Weaves! Get him! Yeah! Get him! Good girl!
There you go, treat your own target.
Good girl. That way she won't come running. You won't.
That's true.
Come on. Let's go running! Woohoo! Good girl.
There you go. And eventually we can move the target away. Another way to build up speed, or if you don't have a second person, okay, so when you're practicing, obviously you're not going to be able to use a target because she'll run around and grab the treats. But you can use a ball or a frisbee or some kind of a toy, and you send them through, and as soon as they wrap around and that they've gotten that last pole, it goes flying off, and then they go forward. Make sure that whenever you use that though, that you're rewarding forward and you never reward off to the side or anything. Because you want that drive going through them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions at all on weaves?
Yes, I have a question.
All right, let's hear it.
The entrance on the weaves, once the guides aren't there, it's harder to tell where my dog has to go in. Can you explain?
Yes, okay, so the dog always has to enter with a pole on the left side. Okay, so she would always be on the right. And it's really just going to be remembering that all the time. Okay? Because you're right, once the guides come off, it's a hard thing to learn. The way that I taught Zima the entrance, so this is separate from channels, separate from guides, just another training method. Zima did not have access to guide wires. We didn't have them. So we had to teach her the entrance without the guides. Go ahead and pop those other guides off. And what we did is we taught 2 poles. Okay, and Ruby, have you ever done the?
Never.
Okay, so Ruby's never seen this before. Here in front of the camera. Okay. So Ruby's never seen this before, so she is going to be going completely into this kind of thing. And what I did is, do you have a toy or a treat? We can use treats actually. Or is she toy motivated? Okay, so what we did is a 2x2 method. Okay, and what that does is that for the dog, what you're doing is you're breaking down 6 or 12 or whatever number of weave poles into a tube. So they're doing just 2 weave poles, and they're just doing it repetitively. So we're going to teach this. Go ahead and stand off to the side, and you want her to go through these weave poles, and you can toss them off. Weaves. And she goes through. All right, call her back. Kind of almost, it's just like playing fetch here, as long as she brings it back. That's okay, she's coming out of the tunnel here. And Ruby's having a great time. That's all right.
Come on, right here, Mom.
And so we'll work on our recall later when she has her favorite toy, because clearly she forgot how to come. Okay, so what you're going to do, that's okay. Just ignore it, let her play. We're fine. I'll explain it to you and yeah. Okay, so what we did is Zima would go through this, and then we gradually came back a little bit, and I'd send her through it. She always had to go through. And what she eventually did then is she went through and wrapped around that pole. Zima's clicker trained, so that's how we did that. And we were able to clicker train this when she was actually pretty young. Okay, she was only about 8 months when she learned that she goes through, around, and then she got her remote out. Okay, and what that does then is that then the next set of poles would be the same trick, just over and over again. She's having a great time.
I know.
Okay, just let her play. It's fine. Do you have any other questions on the weave poles? So that's how we taught the entrance, and it worked really well. Any questions at all on weaves? Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and teach some of the crosses in agility, because eventually on an agility course you got to be able to switch sides. And sometimes your dog is moving and moving pretty fast. Sometimes your dog is staying still. Whatever. There's a bunch of different times that you might need to switch sides. So we're going to do this jump setup with a front cross and a rear cross. Front cross is when you cross in front of your dog. Rear cross is when you cross behind your dog. Okay? And then we'll do blind cross and static cross with the other obstacles out there. Okay, so we're going to first run with an imaginary dog, because crosses is something that really you got to learn before your dog. Okay? It's your job to do the cross, not necessarily your dog's. So we're going to have you out here, okay? And you're going to have an imaginary dog, and you're going to be coming from that direction. The way that this building is set up, we do have kind of a more narrow space to work with, but an agility course is pretty big. So you're coming from somewhere over there, your dog is on your right side, okay? And by the end of these jumps, you need to be on your dog's other side, because you're going to be leaving this way. Okay, so you want to leave with your dog on the left. All right, so option number one is the front cross. You have your dog here. Okay. You're going to send him jump out. Okay, through cracks and neck, jump, and you're going to catch him here and switch sides. Okay, so jump, jump, out, switch, and right here. Okay, so go ahead. You can kind of get used to the footwork, because it's your job to get this. What I would recommend, especially because Ruby's still kind of learning the out, send her out, make sure that she's committed to that jump before you cross over. For now, what we're going to do is, if you want to practice the weight, it doesn't really matter. Send her out here, and I want you to reward her in the left hand. Okay, so don't take that jump, just reward in the left hand, because you want her to get used to you switching hands. Okay, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead and grab Ruby, little puppy. Hey, Ruby.
Come here. Come on. Right here, Ruby. Right here. Okay. Out.
Cross in front. Reward. Right there. Perfect. All right, do that one more time.
Okay.
And reward after that jump.
Right there, Ruby. Here,
Because you want her to see your hand.
Out. Here.
There, and reward. Perfect. All right, do that again, and this time you can go ahead and send her over that other jump.
Ready? Go out. Oops.
That's all right.
Again. Come on.
Try again.
Come on, Ruby. Out. Right here.
Okay, there you go, just like that. Any questions on a front cross?
Nope.
All right, okay, so this time, same setup, but you're going to be behind her when you cross. Okay, so but we still want the same goal of switching sides. So you're going to have jump, jump, your jump here, and then you're going to send her and meet up with her here. Okay. Okay, so like we're heading for the panel jump. You would actually probably be going,
No, you would switch sides.
you go jump, jump, cross it, and then you'd be, maybe there's more stuff over here,
Okay.
or kind of thing. So something where you have to have your dog on the left, no matter what that is, doesn't, who knows what the course is. Okay, but does that make sense? So you're going to cross behind her this time. So go ahead and go through the footwork of this, having her out, and then make sure, and this time, this is a kind of a, when you would use a front or a rear. For this one, because she needs so much lead into that go out, our rear actually probably makes more sense because you're farther back.
Okay.
Okay, so something to watch for is that you're not going to want to do a rear cross right here. You're going to want to be farther back for that rear cross. All right, go ahead and run through the footwork a little bit, and then I'll let her out. Send her, and then you should be on this side of that jump, and then catch her and treat her there with your left hand.
Okay.
So treat her after the jump with your left hand.
Okay. Got it. Come on, Ruby.
Ah, what a good girl.
you understand. So that's where you want to be able to send her. And this is going to take practice for her to be able to go in front of you.
Ruby, here, ready? Go out. Here, Ruby. Out. Good girl. Yes. What a good girl.
All right, go ahead and try that one more time.
Without the spinning.
Yep, and we're going to try to get no spin. She's there.
You're right here. Ready? Out. Here, Ruby. Here, Ruby. Yep, she lands all the time on that. Good girl. Let's just do this.
Okay, so yep, you can go ahead and start there and see if you can send her when you're back here and then run up and send her.
Out. Why does she spin like that? Let's go. Out.
Chances are when she's spinning there, what's happening is that you're over here when you're starting to do your rear cross.
Because there's not enough room and not enough speed.
Right.
Okay.
So if you want, why don't we set her back there? Or even here.
I'm not.
But get her speed.
Here, Ruby. Come here, hon.
So if you come this way, yep. I'll set her out. Here! But that was better. She's still. So you want to make sure that you stay on this half of the jump when you're rear crossing.
Right here.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to practice a static contact. So when the dog is staying still. This can be at the end of contact. We're going to use the table. So the purpose of this is, let's say you were out here, you're coming in and your dog is on the left-hand side. You send them over to the table, but when you leave, then you're going to want to cross in front of them and leave and go do it's over here. Okay, that makes sense? All right, go ahead, and she'll probably take this really well. This is a very easy cross to do, as long as your dog stays on the contacts.
Okay, table. Sit.
All right, and then you're going to leave.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to now go ahead and teach a blind cross, which means that your dog doesn't see you switching sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to send Ruby into the tunnel here, okay? But she's going to come out here, and then she can go and move over that jump if you want. Okay? So you're going to send her in with the right hand, and then you got to cross over. It's just like a front cross, except your dog doesn't see you. Okay, for this one. Okay? And then send her out. Okay. All right, go ahead. I'll come out here.
Here, Ruby. Here, Ruby. Ready? Tall. Here, Ruby.
There. You want to try going the other direction?
Sure.
So think about it beforehand where your feet have to be.
Okay. Ready? Tall. Here, Ruby.
There you go. Good job.
Girl.
Any questions on a blind cross?
Nope.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and teach obstacle discrimination. So many times in a little bit more intermediate or advanced agility courses, they have two obstacles in front of the dog, and the dog has to be able to take either obstacle. So what we have is we have the tunnel and the A-frame. There's a couple different ways to teach this. Your body or your dog reads off of your body a lot. So just be aware of where you're sending your dog, okay? And then also they should know the words. Dogs can learn names of things, and so they should be able to name tunnel and know to go in the tunnel. All right, so with Ruby, go ahead and bring her over, and let's practice her knowing the name of the words. So go ahead and send her in the tunnel and say tunnel, and practice that. You can be on this side. We're going to completely ignore that A-frame. Oh, kind of thing. Just tunnel. Go on.
Come on.
Call her back.
Here, Ruby.
So send her.
Tunnel.
Yay! Good girl. Whoops. Here, here's a treat and I'll reward at the end. that tunnel. Don't even give her the option. You can even have her leading into the tunnel.
Ruby! Come on, Ruby! Right here! Tunnel! Yes!
There you go. Alright,
Come on, Ruby! Ruby, come! Right here! Tunnel! Woo! Good girl.
And make sure that you're saying the word tunnel as you would on an agility course.
Come on, Ruby! Let's go!
We're teaching her the word.
Ready? Tunnel! Good dog. Come on, Ruby!
You can be on either side of her, remember.
Ready? Oops. Tunnel! Woo! Come on, that's not it. Come on, Ruby. Here, ready? Tunnel! Yay!
Okay.
Come on,
So
Ruby.
we're gonna keep practicing that, but now we're gonna move to the A-frame. So what do you call the A-frame?
A-frame.
Okay, so now we're gonna move to the A-frame. You're not gonna
Ruby,
get back to the tunnel. So start her. You gotta start her farther back because it is an A-frame. And we're actually gonna go ahead and move the entrance of this tunnel a little bit so that it's not as tempting. Okay? But it's still there, kind of thing. We can always move it gradually over there. All right, so get her to take the A-frame and I'll treat at the end.
Ready? A-frame! Touch! Okay. Come on, Ruby! Touch. What? What's the touch? Woo, good girl. Okay. Okay.
All right, send her up one more time.
Ruby, come on! Let's go, A-frame! Touch. Good girl. Okay.
All right. So then what we would do is, as your dog learns the words, we would move it so that it is more challenging. Okay. Now, the thing to remember though is when you're doing this, is that she is watching you. So don't look at those. Ruby.
Leave 'em.
Yep, practice
Good
it. There
girl.
you go.
Good
So
girl.
one of the big things is that with an A-frame, if you're standing up tall, send them up the A-frame.
She didn't have a run.
No, keep going. Good girl. No, don't keep going. Okay. Whereas if you're crouching down, that's going to go more toward the tunnel. Okay, so just be aware of your body movement. You should be able to say the words, and your dog takes them. However, just be aware of that you're not sending a mixed cue. The other thing to remember is that sometimes dogs, she's more likely to take that A-frame a lot of times when I'm on this side. So what you can do is you can, we were practicing go out earlier, you can go out, tunnel, okay? Or here, A-frame. So adding that out or here will help them learn which one to take. The other thing is to know your dog. So some dogs, there's this suction in the tunnel and they just get pulled into that tunnel. So you gotta know your dog. If your dog is sucked in by that tunnel, you could probably be anywhere and they're gonna go through that tunnel and you're fine. But if they're being sucked into that tunnel, you're gonna have a very strong cue to bring them off of it. Get their attention, get their eye contact, then send them on to the contact. Does that make sense? You want to try it all a couple times, or
Sure, we'll try it. I don't know.
Go ahead and try it, and let's see where you're at because it'll give you things to work on.
Okay, Ruby, come here.
Let me know if you want me to treat or if you.
Which do you want us to take first?
Why don't we go with the tunnel first? Here, I can be at this end so that I can treat.
Okay.
That way you don't have to necessarily beat her to the
You
end.
ready? Tunnel! Good girl. Come on, Ruby, let's go back. Come here.
All right, this time take the tunnel and have you on this side, like you were running along the tunnel.
Ruby. Tunnel! Yes. Good girl.
All right, this time go ahead and do
Come on, Ruby.
do the A-frame and be on that side. So we're gonna make it easier for her this time.
Okay.
Be on that side and do the A-frame.
A-frame. Whoa. Come on, Ruby, you're a tunnel sucker. Come on.
Okay, so now you know that.
Apron, right here,
Good girl, Ruby.
Puppy, come on.
All right, go ahead and do that one more time.
Apron, yes!
All right, go ahead and see if you can send her out to that A-frame.
Okay, come on. Let's go.
And be on this side.
Okay, come here, Ruby. Come here, Ruby.
And what you can kind of do is at first kind of block that tunnel. Just don't trip on it yourself. Okay? But send her out. Tell her to go out.
Hey, Ruby. No. Ruby. Come on, Ruby. Hey, Ruby. Yes! I said it's not bad because I pull off and it pulls off the apron. Come on, Ruby. They're never running this side.
That's okay. If you can get her out, I'll treat her on this side.
Hey, Ruby.
There you go. Good girl.
Okay. Come on.
All right, we're good. So we'll go ahead and we'll keep practicing this. But you'll want to get comfortable being able to be on either side because some courses, this A-frame might be too close to that wall. You might have to send her out to be on that A-frame. Sometimes the tunnel will go underneath the A-frame. Okay, so you're going to have to be potentially on the other side of the tunnel to be able to send her out. Something to work on. All right, any questions at all?
Nope.
So really this is just going to take lots and lots of practice.
Treat.